I received a beautiful and deeply moving message from someone called Emma. She's a teacher and she works with neurodivergent children, especially those with ADHD and autism, many of whom face overwhelming anxiety, emotional shutdowns, and real difficulty expressing what's happening inside. Emma shared that she's been using neuro art and intuitive doodling as a therapeutic tool both for herself and for the children she supports. She told me how this creative process, just letting your hand move and allowing the chaos to flow into something beautiful, has helped her find peace in her own mind. And now she's bringing that same gift to her students. But there is the challenge. Many of the kids struggle with perfectionism. They are afraid to take risks, to make mistakes. So Emma asked if I could help create a simple reference pack, a gentle starting point filled with easy patterns and doodle ideas that they can lean on just to get started. And of course I said yes. So right now I'm working on putting together a free resource, a printable package filled with simple, calming, confidence-boosting doodles and pattern prompts. As soon as it's ready, I will link it below this video or maybe my next one. It will be completely free for anyone who might find it helpful, whether you are a teacher, a parent, or someone just looking for a moment of calm. But I don't want to just stop there. This has opened up something much deeper for me, the connection between intuitive art and mental health. I truly believe that art can offer something therapy sometimes can't, a moment of expression without explanation, a space to feel without needing to be understood. The act of creating, especially freely, intuitively, gives the brain a chance to regulate, to breathe, and to feel safe. And that's what I want to explore more. I want to learn how colors, shapes, and textures can support emotional release and nervous system healing, and turn that into more resources for anyone who needs them. So, if you have experience, either professional or personal, with neurodivergence, trauma, anxiety, depression, art therapy, or emotional healing through creativity, I'd like to hear from you. Drop a message below or send me an email if you want it to be more private. Let's build something meaningful together, because everyone deserves a space to feel seen, safe, and free to create. Now let's get into today's video. Today I want to take you through the creative process behind this rather unpredictable doodle of mine. If you're following me on Instagram, you've probably already heard me moaning about this one more than once. It didn't come easy. In fact, this was one of those pieces I nearly gave up on halfway through. And let me tell you why. It all started with a challenge I set for myself this year. No new art supplies. I have a ton of stuff already. Inks, pens, paints, some I've barely even touched. So I figured, let's make the most of what I have. I started this piece with an unusual color choice, brown, or as I like to call it, a collection of muddy intentions. Not my first choice, definitely not my comfort zone. I'm more into bright greens or blue, red, more popular colors. You know what I mean. But I'm sticking to the challenge, and to be fair, it's June now and I haven't bought anything new. Small win. And yes, now I'm running low on things, so this brown, this was me trying to make the best of what's left. I wet the paper, hoping the ink would spread out beautifully and create some interesting patterns, but instead it just soaked in, or maybe it was too wet. and made the whole thing look like a damp cardboard box. No texture, no drama, just a flat brown disappointment. So no magic happened here, and I hung it to dry, annoyed but not defeated. Then came the lines and shapes. You know how sometimes lines almost guide your hand? Yeah, not this time though. Nothing looked balanced. Every new shape I added just made things worse. But I kept going. That's one thing I've learned. Keep going. I started adding colors without thinking, just reacting. Sometimes I do that to trick my brain into relaxing, and then I step aside, I look for which colors stand out more naturally and use those to lead the piece. This time, nothing stood out. It was just chaos, the whole rainbow. And not in the cute way, in the children's painting on the wall without permission kind of way. At the same time, I was going through something really heavy in life. I won't get into too much detail, but long story short, there is a health-related issue I've been dealing with, something that was caused by professionals who, at the end, refused to take accountability or even try to help fix what they caused. It's been an exhausting process, and now I'm having to deal with it through legal channels because there is no other way to get justice. It's draining, it messes up with your peace of mind. So the whole situation has been overwhelming, mentally, physically, emotionally, and this piece, it became a mirror for all of that. I didn't realize it while I was working on it, but looking back now, I see how much of that inner turmoil poured onto the paper. It was chaotic, stubborn, ugly in places. I almost gave up on it, but I came back again and again, adding more layers, more lines, more colors, letting myself react rather than control. And eventually, finally, something started to happen. Shapes began to talk to each other. The whole thing started to connect. It was still chaotic, but in a way that started to feel intentional, like a kind of controlled mess. And then, spoiler alert, when I pulled out the gold pen, everything shifted. That tiny bit of shimmer brought life to it. It added depth, a focal point. It made the whole thing glow. This piece didn't need to be balanced or calm. It needed to be true. It made me realize something important, something I want to share with you now. And here is the thing. Just like the situation I'm dealing with now, this process was hard. It took time, it tested my patience, but I didn't give up. And because I kept on going, it actually turned out to be one of my favorite recent pieces. And it doesn't seem as bad anymore, But not everything in life is beautiful. You can't paint war beautiful or grief or anger. And why should you even try? Some emotions are meant to be felt, not polished. Art isn't always meant to decorate a living room. Sometimes it's meant to unsettle you, to make you think and to make you feel. That's exactly what intuitive art is all about. It's not about control or perfection. It's about honesty. It's about pouring your inner world onto a page, even if it comes out messy or awkward or just plain weird. In cultural theory, there are two aesthetically important categories, and they are equal. The first is the beautiful, and the second is the ugly. They're equal because both provoke real, raw emotions. If art provokes no emotion at all, that is worse than if it provokes disgust, nausea, or horror. Artist depicts ugliness to create metaphor, to show evil, sin, or perhaps real physical deformity, because they are interested in what that represents. Think about it. If a piece of art does nothing to you, it fails. But if it makes you uncomfortable, uneasy, even revolted, it has power. Look at the painting, The Ugly Duchess by Quentin Matsys from 1513. He painted her with exaggerated, grotesque features, not because he lacked skill, but to reflect inner ugliness. Possibly her vanity, pride, or sin transformed into physical metaphor. And now compare that to Mona Lisa. Which one moves you more? Just don't lie to yourself. Or Hieronymus Bosch, Christ Carrying the Cross, 1511. In that painting, there is not a single ordinary human face, only grotesque, twisted expressions, except for Christ and Saint Veronica. Ugliness as a symbol of human sin. Umberto Eco once said, "Ugliness is unpredictable, beauty is limited." And I think it's brilliant. There are certain things you simply cannot portray beautifully. War, for example. Yuri Pemenov's War Invalids from 1926 shows the brokenness of post-war life. There is no heroism in it, only despair. Or perhaps Edvard Munch's The Scream? Not exactly a decorative piece, is it? Even more recently, Artyom Loskutov created the piece called Belarus, using a police baton, literally. The red and white flag made from bruises symbolized protest, resistance, and trauma. So why do artists make ugly work? There are three main reasons. One is to show internal ugliness, moral or emotional corruption. Or number two, to explore physical strangeness or exaggeration, what's unusual and fascinating. Or three, because some things just can't be told beautifully. And that's what I try to honor in my own intuitive art. It's not always meant to be pretty. It's meant to be real. This piece for me is a visual map of the last 6 months. The chaos, the frustration, the resilience. The negative emotions I poured into it, anger, pain, they didn't look nice on paper. They rarely do. But as I kept going, kept responding to what was there, kept turning the piece around and seeing it from different angles, something changed. The ugly parts became background. The chaos gave way to rhythm. And I think that's kind of the point. So when you sit down with your pen or brush and the emotions you are feeling are too big, too dark, or too complicated, don't try to make them beautiful. Just pour them out, pour them away. Let the chaos speak. Let the page hold it for you. At first, it might look strange. It might feel like a mess. But if you keep going, add more lines, look from a new angle, layer on something unexpected, you might just find that what was once ugly becomes something meaningful. And maybe, just maybe, something beautiful in the end. Thank you for being here with me today. If you connected with this, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more art, more truth, and more creative chaos. Until the next time, keep creating, even through the mess.